Welcome back to another episode of the Skinfluence podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dustin Portela, board-certified dermatologist, joined as always by my co-host, Austin.
Yeah, I'm Austin Lee. I'm a physician assistant here at Dr. Portela's practice.
And it's our first time recording in 2026, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
2025 went by really fast for me. I don't know about you, but it flew by for me.
Yeah, it didn't feel super rushed for me, but some of the years do. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one just seemed normal. Wasn't
like a normal
too slow,
year.
too fast.
Maybe because it's my first full year here in the Treasure Valley.
Yeah. Are you a New Year's resolutions guy?
Oh, big time.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I have this my screensaver on my laptop is all the resolutions.
All your resolutions?
Yeah. I break it down by category and everything.
Okay.
Are you?
I don't usually do a lot, but this year I am trying to do a little bit, but more not setting necessarily a goal. But I love Atomic Habits, the book Atomic Habits.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got a new planner for the year because I just do better when I write stuff down. And so I put my identity statements at the beginning, I am a good husband. I am a good father. I am somebody who is fit and healthy and something I want to read every day. And then the effort is, and I have planned what are the habits and behaviors that make me that person? Or
Gotcha.
If I'm already, this person, what are the choices that I make, and then trying to implement those little habits every day rather than I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to bench 315 or something.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. I think it works better for me to do it that way, and I love the book Atomic Habits.
I think that's a good approach because you have the expectation of what you are, and then how to get there, or how to stay there. I guess.
Yeah, just implementing little habits every day
smart.
and habit stacking. So I'm putting forth some effort for that this year. The things that I want to work on and reinforce the identity that I'm really always trying to grow into.
Yeah.
So
I live and die by goals and lists.
Yeah.
That's how I function.
Yeah. I've tried so many different things on my phone and I do better when I write it.
Oh yeah.
Pen and ink.
I'm a writer.
Yeah.
For sure. I get that.
Yeah. So, but today we're going to be talking about shelf wars, the products that we use in our skincare, and we're pitting them against each other, so to speak, trying to understand, is that $80 serum really worth it, or is it just marketing fluff? So we're going to talk about cleansers and moisturizers and serums and sunscreens, and we're going to talk about some of the marketing speak that goes in behind these things, hopefully to give the listeners an idea of what you're looking at when you look at skincare packaging or when you see the ads pop up on TikTok or Instagram, because there's a lot of marketing BS out there.
There is a lot of marketing BS. Yeah. Having kind of been behind the scenes this year, I get to see behind the veil a little bit, and it's oh, okay. Yeah. I see where we're at.
It makes more sense when you can see it. So we're trying to distill that information to the listeners so you can understand the things that we see when we peel back the curtain a little bit.
And then make informed decisions about which products you should be getting for yourselves.
And we're not necessarily naming products you should and shouldn't get, but we're just kind of talking about, is the more expensive options really worth it? And so kind of drugstore, mid-tier, and luxury brands, what we splurge on and what we don't splurge on. So I thought we could start with cleansers. When it comes to cleansers, are you a drugstore, mid-tier, or luxury brand kind of guy?
I'm a drugstore user. I typically go, I kind of vary. I switch them around depending on what my skin is feeling, but La Roche-Posay has good cleansers. Yeah. CeraVe has great cleansers. Neutrogena, I really like their oil-free acne cleanser, the bright orange one. Yeah. I like it. And so I have used expensive cleansers, and my face does just as well with both for me.
I'm the same way. I think a lot of these cleansers, they have such short contact time with the skin. I have a hard time saying you need a $50 to $70 cleanser when you can get a $10 to $20 cleanser. I don't personally see a lot of difference for me or for my patients.
Yeah. And a lot of times when you're doing a cleanser, I cleanse in the shower. Yeah. A lot of it's just coming off your hands into the drain.
Into the drain.
When I do it in the sink, I get more of the product onto my skin, but you're right. It's on there for a minute at the most, and then it's gone.
So I think from both of us, the verdict then for cleansers is drugstore brands, absolutely A-okay.
Drugstore brands will do just fine.
Yeah.
And you can tailor it to your needs, which is nice. There's acne cleansers, there's hydrating cleansers, there's mixed cleansers, there's cleansers for every skin type. So
yeah. I would say kind of in a mid-tier range, one I really do like is the Rock, like barrier repair cleansers. I find them really good. They're going to be a little more expensive than your CeraVes or Cetaphils, and it feels really nice. But it's like, in the $20 to $30 range.
Yeah.
But I mean, even in the clinic, we sell, and if you're listening, if you're a patient of mine and you bought this and you like it, great. But I don't know that I think everybody needs like a Skin Better Science cleanser that's $50+.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I think if you're going to allocate money, there's better things to be spending money on than a cleanser.
I agree. So let's move on to serums.
Okay.
Let's talk. I mean, we've got vitamin C, niacinamide, retinol. What's worth the money? And some of these not always are in serum. Sometimes they're lotions or gels in and of themselves. But vitamin C, drugstore, mid-tier, luxury.
Vitamin C serum. I'm probably going to go more mid-tier on vitamin C serums. I've had serums that I feel like in this, the vehicle matters for these types of things. And if they're using a cheaper vehicle that just dries weird on your skin or that doesn't feel good, you're not going to use the product.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, not every case, every time, but you get what you pay for with cosmetic products. And so I'm going to go mid-tier and say I like some of the mid-tier products.
When it comes for me personally in the antioxidant, like vitamin C range, I'm a luxury guy.
You're a luxury guy.
I go premium products because I find that I see more benefit in my skin. And I've used some of the mid-tier and the low-tier ones, and maybe it's just I've been influenced too much. But I use the Skin Better Alto Advanced most every day.
I'll say I have not tried that one though, so maybe I can get swayed by trying that one. But
and the reason is it's got vitamin C, but it's got 19 other antioxidants in it as well.
Gotcha.
And we know that vitamin C has to be appropriately stabilized in order 100%. To remain active. And I would say the first antioxidant that I ever used was SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic.
Yeah.
And about a month into it, I noticed a difference in my skin. From going to no antioxidant use to CE Ferulic, I was like, this is doing something.
Well, you went with one of the biggest hitters.
I know. It's the market leader. And I think that just sold me on the premium product.
Yeah.
But there are some in the drugstore and the mid-tier range that I do think are very good. Derma E, I think they've done a great job. And they're like $20 for the Derma E one. But I have it available to me, and I just personally use Skin Better Science, and I think that's like $210 retail.
Yeah.
So
it wouldn't surprise me.
I do think that spending a little more on vitamin C often gets you a little more, but I can't justify that everybody needs a $185 CE Ferulic or a $210 Skin Better Science. It's just what I use personally.
Yeah.
And I like it, and I feel like it's good for my skin. So yeah, that's my opinion.
So we both went up.
We both went up.
We both went from drugstore. Yeah, I'm more mid-tier. And maybe it's because there are other things that I would spend money on personally, but I do like a good vitamin C. I do like a good niacinamide.
Yeah.
And you can find some good mid-range ones that are not just off the shelf at the drugstore.
Yeah. For niacinamide, I don't use just a dedicated niacinamide serum. It's in some of the other products that I use.
Yeah.
Niacinamide, I'm more of a drugstore to mid-tier type guy.
The one that I like, you've heard of Tur.
Yeah.
I use that one.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It feels like a quality product. The packaging is really nice. But it's not really expensive.
Yeah.
And it feels good. I see my skin looks and feels brighter.
Yeah.
When I use it. So
good. Very good.
That's my go-to.
Retinol.
Retinol is where I'm going to go top. I'm going to go.
You're going to go luxury?
Yeah. Retinol is where I'm going to spend my money because that's where I really see the best benefit. I tend to get little pimples here and there. When I use a retinol consistently, I don't. When I use kind of on the cheaper end of retinols, I still break out.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll even use I'll mix in a prescription tretinoin in with my retinol occasionally, a few times a week. But I'm going Skin Better Science, the Alpha Ret.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my all-time favorite product.
I did the Alpha Ret until I ran out, and then I went to Alto Advance, or the Alpha Ret Intensive.
Yes.
So a little bit stronger. There's more glycolic. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. And that's the one that I use every night. My skin does not handle prescription tretinoin very well.
Yeah.
I get dry and irritated. The Alpha Ret is equivalent. It is retinoic acid, just like tretinoin.
Yeah.
It's just combined with lactic acid and glycolic acid, and somehow it's more gentle on my skin. So that is the one that I go with. I'm also in the luxury category there. If I could handle a prescription, I probably would just go with the prescription because it's going to be less expensive.
Yep.
So you can get tretinoin from a lot of online places by prescription for $40 to $80.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, what is Alpha Ret is like 140.
140.
Yeah.
Online.
So
I will put a plug in for one over-the-counter product that I use. It's La Roche-Posay's Adapalene.
Yeah.
1%. It's a great product. I like it a lot. It's not too irritating. Mm-hmm. It's Adapalene. It's going to dry out a little bit, but it's done really well.
Yeah.
So
it used to be prescription only. Yep. So I do like Adapalene, and I recommend it often online or to my patients.
Yeah.
So let's move into moisturizers.
Okay.
So drugstore, mid-tier, luxury.
I'm going to go luxury moisturizer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
So my favorite one, I said it before, is the Dean Active V moisturizer. It's a luxury moisturizer. Your skin feels so good. I don't know what it is about this one. Your skin feels so happy when you use it. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not to say I still occasionally I'll use CeraVe's body moisturizer for sure. The big jar of it. It's their moisturizing cream, and I've used some mid-tier moisturizers, but if that one is just that and the Alpha Ret.
Alpha Ret.
It's a great combo.
That's where you're splurging?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of a drugstore moisturizer guy. I do obviously love the Dean line because it's my line, but I for whatever reason, I just have so much CeraVe at home. That's usually what I grab.
Yeah. Is
CeraVe. I also really like Naturium and Prequel.
Yeah.
Which are kind of the mid-range.
I haven't tried Prequel. Mm-hmm. Naturium's got a good retinol. Mm-hmm. And they have a vitamin C that is stable. So yeah, I think Naturium is actually a good mid-tier brand as well.
Yeah. So I'm probably mid-tier on moisturizers.
Okay.
So mid-tier.
But I would say from the neck down, I'm a drugstore.
Yeah.
And then the face
is luxury.
Is luxury.
Yeah, this is protect the money maker.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, I have a guess where you're going to be on SPF.
I think you know.
I am mid-tier when it comes to SPF.
LTMD's luxury or mid-tier, would you say?
I would say it's mid-tier because it's like that $40,
then I'm
$50
mid-tier
range. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm mid-tier then.
So I find that your drugstore brands like Coppertone, Equate, whatever it is, I'll use it on my body, but not on my face.
Yeah, I agree.
And when it comes to the face, it's not that the mid-tier ones offer better protection. It's just the vehicle feels better on my skin. I don't break out when I use it. Mm-hmm. And because it feels good, I'll use it consistently.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The vehicles that are used in LTMD are just really elegant feeling. Mm-hmm. You get a lot of the same protection you can get from the drugstore, but you're not going to get a white cast with it like you will with some of the facial zinc oxide-based sunscreens over the counter. And when I sweat, it doesn't turn white.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing for me because I play pickleball, I go mountain biking, I sweat a lot.
Yeah.
And if I'm getting white streaks on my face or in my eyes, I'm not happy. So
I have tried some of the luxury brands, and I said we weren't going to name names, and I'm not getting into the specific sunscreens, but I've tried Skin Better, I've tried SkinCeuticals, and some of these really expensive lines. I think that they really made their name with their serums and their treatments.
Yeah.
But they had to come out with a sunscreen to complete the line.
Yep.
And they're fine, but I just don't like the feel of them, especially for the price that they come at.
Yeah.
So
I'd agree. And I feel like it goes both ways. LTMD has a face wash.
Yeah.
That, they're going to have the product, but I'm not drawn to it like I am other brands, but I love their sunscreens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no skincare company that I think is the best market leader in every category.
Yeah.
So So let's see. Eye creams. Do you really need one?
That's a great question. I've been trying to use eye creams to see, because I have patients ask me all the time, and I don't want to give them bad information. I don't want to give them information that's not backed by science, but also I want to try it myself. So I have been using eye creams really frequently for the past few months. I don't really feel like I need one though. So
I don't use it very consistently. It just doesn't work in my routine because I'm very simple on my skincare routine. I do think though that if you're going to go with an eye cream, most of the drugstore brands are not a whole lot better than just a good moisturizer or mixing your retinol in a little bit. I know you got to be careful with that, but I think if you want to get into a good eye cream, you're going to be looking for a really well-formulated retinol eye cream or a peptide eye cream. And I think you need to be in the mid-tier to luxury line to actually start to see those benefits. And so I'm a big fan of the peptide eye cream from Dean Skincare, the line that we carry here in the office. I think it's really well formulated. It feels good. It's non-irritating. It's fragrance-free. And even though I don't use an eye cream, I generally will say if you're getting all the basics down and you want to get into an eye cream, that's an area where if you want to see a big difference, you're going to move into a little bit higher price point.
Yeah. I have patients who have what's called eyelid dermatitis. And I've recommended them using the Dean eye cream. They like it. It's not irritating to their rough, flaky skin.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing when people are picking eye creams is that's a very thin skin area, very sensitive skin area. And if you're doing something that's going to aggravate your skin, you have to be careful with which product you're going to use if you're prone to that type of thing. So, but I'm just not convinced.
Not sold on eye creams.
I'm not sold on eye creams quite yet.
So are there any products or companies that you think punch above their weight? Like for the price point, you feel like you're really getting something that performs better than what it costs?
That's a good question. I feel like LTMD is very appropriately priced. And like if you're getting a drugstore product that punches above its weight, maybe. I can't think of really. I feel like everything's pretty well priced. They put a lot of work into their pricing.
They do put a lot of work into it.
Do you have any? You've used way more products than I have, I think.
I've tried a lot of different products. I really think that the Eucerin Radiant Tone line for the price.
You are 100% correct. That's a great call.
I think that performs better than you would think it would for that price point when it comes to reducing pigmentation. And
it's almost replacing hydroquinone.
Yeah, I think it does very well.
At the 48% range.
And combining that with like La Roche-Posay Mela B3, I think is really great for pigmentation. I think the La Roche-Posay B3, I wouldn't say it, I think it's better than hydroquinone. I wouldn't say it necessarily punches above its weight because it's like a $45 serum. Yeah. But I think the Radiant Tone collection is very good. And some of the newer stuff from Rock Skincare I think is excellent. Like their Barrier Renewal line I'm in love with. So
I need to try that. I've tried a few of Rock's products, but I haven't dove into all of them. Yeah. Yeah. That was a great call. I recommend the Radiant Tone line very often to my patients when they're doing like their off time for hydroquinone, like that. So
yep, big fan of that. So I think the big takeaway here, you can kind of see where we're at when it comes to drugstore, mid-tier, and luxury lines. It's really overall just about consistency. I am not consistent with a cheap vitamin C, but I am really consistent when I buy an expensive vitamin C. So it kind of pushes me to use it more because I'm like, I spend a lot of money on it, and I do like the results from it. Whatever you use, you want to be able to use it consistently.
Yeah, I would agree. I am very motivated when I spend more money to use a product. Yeah. But you'd hope that if you're spending more money, you're going to get the results from that product. Yeah. So
even when I've spent a lot of money on a sunscreen like a Skin Better, I don't use it though because I don't like it as much.
Yeah, that's true.
But if that's your favorite one, by all means use it.
Yeah. So the problem is my side of the bathroom's, it's way more messy than my wife's side lately.
Same here. If somebody walked in and looked at the his and her side, they would guess wrong in my house.
Oh, yeah, 100% same. I'm in the same boat.
So, all right, well, let's jump into a little Did You Know?
Yeah. Well, my Did You Know segues perfectly into what we were just talking about because the average 60% of people, oh, sorry, I messed this up.
No, sorry.
Do you know the average person uses 60%? So the average person only uses 60% of the skincare that they purchase.
Wow.
Which I'm way less. My ratio is way bigger. I probably don't use 90% of what I have in my bathroom right now.
But how much do you use of what you purchase?
I would probably say it's really high. It's probably in the 80s, 80, 90%. I use it, and then something will get sent to me, and now I'm switching it out. But if I buy it, it's because I like it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I get sent so many products that I try once or twice, and then they just sit on my shelf for a long time until family comes over and I give stuff away.
Yeah.
Because I like to try a lot of stuff, but it's really got to be something remarkable to really get into my routine consistently.
Yeah.
So, and there are a lot of good products, but nothing, that blows me away. Unless it's remarkable, it doesn't swap out something.
Okay. Have you tried snail mucin?
I've tried snail mucin, and I just couldn't get in the habit of it.
Yeah.
And it's just a step that for me is unnecessary. But I have used a lot more consistently the Glow Recipe mucin alternative. Oh. So there's some concern that snail mucin is not cruelty-free because they have to shock the snails to get them to produce the mucin.
Oh, gosh.
And so I've never got into mucin that much, but I really like the Glow Recipe. It's made from a prickly pear cactus.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a cruelty-free, but it has the consistency of snail mucin. It feels the same. And I do like that one. But again, it's just another step. And I'm so basic in my skincare that I don't use a lot of serums that aren't a retinol or a vitamin C.
Yeah. I was just interested because I've been seeing that more, and I tried it, and I was like, oh, it's so sticky. And
yeah. My did you know that when a company or a product claims that it's dermatologist recommended, that does not mean that it's widely recommended by the dermatologist community. It could just be one single dermatologist recommended that product.
Or dermatology PA or NP recommended it.
Yeah. And that dermatologist could be on the payroll of the company.
Totally.
So and that's kind of what we're going to move into in the next segment is all of the marketing terms so you know what they actually mean.
Let's talk about some of the terms that we hear then.
Yeah.
So when a product says clinically tested, does that mean it's been peer-reviewed, tested, and backed by multiple different sources, or can it mean something else?
Clinically tested means that it was tested. It doesn't mean that it's validated, that it has statistical significance. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example that's not like too crude, but I could get motor oil and I could give it to a patient and say, put this on your face, let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
That could be clinically tested, but it would be terrible for your skin, obviously.
Yeah.
So just because something was clinically tested doesn't mean that it showed that it was beneficial, that it had active ingredients. It just means that in a clinic somewhere, somebody tested it. And it doesn't even mean that they tested it against a placebo. It just, they tested it.
Yeah. It doesn't mean they used the scientific method or anything like that. It was just, okay. So clinically tested, be wary of that term.
Yeah. And likewise, dermatologist tested. It sounds maybe even a little bit better. Dermatologist tested. So a company could send me a product and say, would you test this out on a patient? And I could give it to a patient and they got a reaction. And I could say, yeah, this product didn't go great. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, they could slap on their label, dermatologist tested. Even though I gave them negative feedback. And I don't have an example where that happened or anything, but dermatologist tested literally just means a dermatologist tested it somewhere. Yeah. Doesn't mean that it was good or that it helped the patient in any way.
Yeah.
And likewise, dermatologist recommended. As we talked about, one dermatologist could recommend it.
And now you can slap that on the label.
Yeah.
How about fragrance-free versus unscented?
This is something that has some definition behind it, and it is different. Even though they sound the same, fragrance-free means it doesn't have an odor that you can smell.
Right.
Or no, sorry. Start that over. This is something where there are definitions that matter. Fragrance-free truly means that there's no added fragrance to it. In dermatology, especially when we do patch testing, we have things called fragrance mix that have different types of fragrance in it that might end up in skincare that we can test a patient for to see if they have an allergy to common fragrances. So if it's fragrance-free, it truly does not have any fragrance in it. Unscented, however, could still mean that there's a fragrance in there, just that they've added something else in there to mask the fragrance.
Gotcha.
So unscented and fragrance-free are not the same thing. If you have a lot of skin sensitivity, you want to look for something that is fragrance-free.
Yeah. Unscented may have the allergen in it.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just masked because it may be part of their formulation, or maybe they make a batch that's got fragrance and then they add something in to cover that up, and they just push out a batch that they then call unscented.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Clean beauty. This is always a big one that seems to make the rounds on TikTok. It pops up every few months about clean beauty. What is clean beauty?
Clean beauty. The interesting thing about clean beauty is there's no standard definition.
Yeah.
So clean beauty could mean it doesn't have a specific chemical in it that the company is looking to avoid.
Yeah.
That's it. So, for example, fragrance could be this is a clean product because it doesn't have fragrance in it, but it has 3 other things that are very common allergens to people who have sensitive skin.
Yeah.
So clean beauty is just it's something that people will put on their labels to make you feel like you're putting on something that has not a lot of chemicals, but when you look at the label, oftentimes it's a paragraph long of things.
So clean beauty is not a regulated term. There are some organizations that try to regulate what clean beauty is, but they don't have any regulatory weight. They can't impose sanctions on a company or anything like that. But companies might be able to apply to this third party and say, can you verify that we are clean beauty? But it's just the definitions that are made up by this third party.
Right.
That's not part of the FDA. It's not part of the European cosmetics regulation or anything like that. So clean beauty from one product may have completely different ingredients than clean beauty in another product. And those two companies might say, well, they're not real clean beauty, but we're clean beauty, and vice versa. So clean beauty, not regulated in general. It's often going to mean free of phthalates, free of parabens, which I don't think products need to be free of parabens.
Yeah.
It might mean cruelty-free. It might mean fragrance-free. But there's no standard definition from company to company as to what clean beauty really means.
And I want to say I've seen a company make products, and the company's name is Clean Beauty. So
that may be true.
I want to say I've seen that somewhere, and I'm like, that's smart, but it's deceptive.
A big one that we look for or tell patients to look for is non-comedogenic.
Yeah.
So non-comedogenic is supposed to mean that it doesn't plug up your pores. And I think at this point, nobody's making products that are comedogenic. Like, everything says non-comedogenic.
If you're making comedogenic products, I don't know, like you're 10 years late.
Yeah. So I think the old way that they used to test comedogenicity had to do with putting it on rabbit ears. I don't know all the details of it, but I've heard this from cosmetic chemists' videos online. And it's not, people don't even test on animals anymore. And so I don't know by what standard they're judging comedogenicity. I think that things are generally really well formulated now. The cosmetic chemists know what to do to keep things from being comedogenic. And a lot of times if something is breaking you out, it's because you didn't clean your skin properly before.
Yeah.
So
we do recommend looking for that.
Yeah.
The non-comedogenic line, because it's not a deceptive marketing tool typically. I can't think of an exception where it is a marketing tool, but most companies are going for the non-comedogenic.
Yeah. So it's not something I think most people run into a lot anymore, because nearly everything says non-comedogenic. So let's jump into some viral trends like slugging.
Oh, slugging. I mean, so slugging is where you put on basically a very occlusive ointment like Vaseline. Vaseline, I think, is the most commonly used one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the point is to try to draw out sebum and dirt out of your skin?
I think it's more to like lock in the moisture.
Oh, it's just a moisturizing thing.
You do your skincare at nighttime, you put on your moisturizer, and then you put the idea is to put on a thin layer of Vaseline, which acts as a barrier to keep water from escaping from your skin, is kind of the idea behind slugging.
And you feel like a slug because
you got grease all over your face. So I will occasionally slug in the winter if my skin starts getting dry.
Sure.
The time that I slug most consistently is after I do a laser procedure or a chemical peel on myself, and I really want to prevent water loss out of the skin. I tell my patients to do it after I do lasers on them. But slugging, I think, is often done wrong because people put gobs and gobs of Vaseline on, and it's really kind of the pea-sized amount. You just want a thin layer.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that you wash your face really well before you start your skincare routine.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't get all your makeup off, you didn't get the oil or the sunscreen off, and then you just lock it in with a Vaseline or Vaseline similar product, I think you will get some comedones form. You will get a little acne, and then people think the Vaseline broke them out. But Vaseline in and of itself is non-comedogenic.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
And we recommend it all the time after procedures, after surgeries, for people to put on their face. And it does great at locking in moisture, doing what it's supposed to do.
So we talked about slugging. What about glass skin? That's the look.
Glass skin.
A viral trend.
Yes, everybody, the goal is glass skin, but it's a completely unrealistic goal because we all have pores.
Yeah.
And glass skin essentially is looking like you don't have pores at all. You just have perfectly smooth, glassy skin. And our skin, our pores, they're genetic. You're not going to change them. You're not going to shrink them. And so going for that achievement or that goal is you're going to have to use a filter.
Yeah. I think that a lot of these glass skin TikToks are using filters. And
they have to be.
Or just really excellent lighting. I never use a filter in my videos, and that's something that I just decided I never would do for me, for my audience. But I definitely notice that when I use my really nice camera for recording and I turn the lights off in the room and I set up my professional studio lights, my skin looks so much better.
Oh, 100%.
Versus on my phone in my car recording something. So there's a lot of different ways that you can manipulate what the audience's perception is based on lighting, whether you use filters or not. And so glass skin, there's products that you use to really just improve hydration of the skin, to give you a glow, but true glass skin it's a fad. It's not realistic, like you said.
Well, and then the last one we have here is skin cycling.
Skin cycling was a term that was created by Dr. Whitney Bowe. She's a dermatologist in New York. And I think in principle, there's a good intention behind it, but I think that it got a little out of hand with other creators. But the idea is that skin cycling is when you're going to use a retinol for a couple nights a week, and then you're going to transition to an exfoliator like a glycolic acid. Meanwhile, you're doing gentle cleansing, you're using moisturizers, and you're just rotating the kind of active products that your skin uses, because you don't want to do glycolic acid and salicylic acid and retinol all on the same night. But if you want the benefits of all of those, then you would break up how you use them. And so you'll give your skin a period of time with retinol, and then you're going to take a break from retinol, and then a period of time with your glycolic acid to exfoliate. And if you are in a good routine with your skincare and you're that dedicated to it, I think it's fine. I am not totally convinced that you get way better results by doing that versus just using a retinol consistently, or just using your glycolic acid 3 nights a week consistently.
Yeah.
And so I think that it got a bad rap through social media by a lot of other creators who were taking it to extremes. But in principle, I think Dr. Bowe had a good idea with what skin cycling could be, and it just got twisted into something that I don't think has the reputation that it was intended to.
Right. And that's a lot to remember. It's a lot of things to have, and it can get overwhelming. Yeah,
I know I'm just not going to be the type of person that like, all right, it's Wednesday, my dudes, tonight's my glycolic acid, you know? You know, I'm just not, I don't keep that good a track. It's just every night is my retinol night. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Keep it simple.
Yeah. So reading an ingredient list, the idea behind an ingredient list is that the products that are listed first are those that are at higher concentrations. But it doesn't necessarily mean you know what concentration they are, because the companies, they have proprietary formulations and they're not obligated to tell you how much of each ingredient is. Sometimes they may say that on the front of the label, like 10% niacinamide, and that's going to be one of the, first 5 ingredients on there. But just because a company says that it has, peptides, if their peptide is listed as the last ingredient, it's probably at very small concentrations.
Yeah.
Then you have to know, how much of this do you actually need? Do you need a high concentration of this peptide, or is a low concentration very effective? So it's a general rule of thumb that if you're looking for something as an active ingredient, it's probably more beneficial if it's listed earlier on the ingredient list.
Yeah.
But it's not a guarantee. So
I had an interesting story about that where a patient recently, I recommended a CeraVe moisturizer. The patient had eczema. We gave them a topical steroid. And then I said, once it clears, switch to the CeraVe moisturizing cream. And I explained why, ceramides, things like that. They came back a few weeks later and said, I noticed you recommended ceramides, but it's not the first ingredient on the list. And I had explained that, well, the other main ingredients you're seeing are they're the vehicle. That's what they're in. And so that's why it's more prevalent. And I had never thought I'd encounter that situation where they're like, you wanted me to use this product, but there's not a lot of what is no, it's in the top, it's in like the first top 10 things, but the main things are very often going to be the vehicle, what it's in. So,
and when you look at ingredient lists, I've done this exercise where you look at the ingredient list of, say, CeraVe moisturizing cream, and you look at the ingredient list of the Walmart Equate brand that says compare to CeraVe moisturizing cream, and ingredient for ingredient, they're all there exactly the same. They're there in the same order, but when you look at how much is actually in, CeraVe has about 8 times more ceramides in theirs than the Walmart brand. So even though the ingredient lists read exactly the same, they're not equivalent products.
Yeah.
So it's something to keep in mind, because they don't have to disclose how much of something is in there. Ceramides are a fairly expensive ingredient.
Yeah.
And so Walmart didn't put as much in, and they charge $4 less for theirs, for example.
Yeah.
So
I will say that I try to buy the off-brand Neutrogena oil for acne cleanser. It's bright orange. It's in the same packaging. And I was breaking out in it where I didn't with the Neutrogena. I was like, learn that lesson.
So a little bit of trial and error when you're looking at some of these. We want you to find things that are affordable. And for our product of the week this week, we don't have just one product, but I've put together a basket of skincare, especially if you're new to skincare. This basket on the Air Skin Store has a cleanser, a moisturizer, a sunscreen, a vitamin C, and a retinol. And they're not all drugstore brands. They're not all mid-tier. They're not all luxury, but there's a good mix of what I felt was going to give you the best benefit. So it's a Cetaphil cleanser and moisturizer, Elta MD UV clear sunscreen.
Perfect.
It's got an Aven retinol, so retinaldehyde, which is it's like one step away from becoming retinol in your skin. So there's more active ingredient that's actually going to do something for you. And then an Isden vitamin C that is not as expensive as SkinCeuticals, but it's not, over-the-counter brand. So it's a good mix of products. It's the 5 categories of products that I recommend for all patients if you're just getting started in skincare. All of the products are at least 10% off. The Isden is 15% off, and you get lifetime discount. So if you go back and repurchase them in the future, you continue to get that discount. So check out that link in the podcast show notes or the YouTube video description to get a complete skincare routine at a discount for life.
That's awesome.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Skinfluence podcast. I'm Dr. Dustin. You can find me on all social media platforms at Dr. Dustin Portela.
And you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat at Austin Lee PAC.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.